an address and take it to the nearest post office. If you work in the city, you can take it to the general post office to collect your package of LEDs. To be clear, the limit is one package, and the packages will look like this. For each household, you must have your flyer with you and filled out to receive your LEDs. These LEDs are 60-watt equivalents, so you can use them to replace any fixture that's in your home or in your office that otherwise would use incandescent light bulbs. They are a natural light color, which is a good medium color rendition. So they look as much like your regular bulbs as possible. For those who might think this is a gestorial initiative, I would like to assure you that it is not. To quantify those savings, one of these LEDs will cost you about $100, an average all-in rate of 42 cents per kilowatt hour to operate before it needs to be replaced, which is after 25,000 hours in use. By contrast, incandescent bulbs only have a lifespan of 1,000 hours. Looking at how much an incandescent bulb will cost to operate for the same number of hours, LEDs cost about $530 less to operate, and an incandescent bulb would need replacement many, many times during that period, given their shorter lifespan. These figures amount to just one bulb. This initiative will allow households to have a savings over time about $1,000 for each 4-pack of bulbs. It is conservatively projected that this initiative will save cumulatively $37 million total, or more in some cases. LEDs are also help you to save money in less direct ways. For example, they give off only a fraction of the waste heat that halogen and incandescent bulbs emit. As a result, your space is actually cooler than it would be if you're using the older, outmoded technologies. If your space is cooler, your air conditioner does not have to work as hard. So you save energy once again. You may be thinking that all this sounds familiar. If so, that is because the Department of Energy promoted a similar initiative in 2018 to mid-2019, in which retailers of LEDs assisted us in distributing 12,500 LED bulbs throughout the community. We are hoping that this initiative not only puts money back in the pockets of Bermuda's residents, but also accomplishes a broader goal of providing inspiration and incentive to residents to explore other energy cost-saving initiatives that are able to bring high reward. As a country and a people, each and every one of us should be looking for different ways to save energy and keep hard-earned cash in the audience, thus circulating through our economy. Energy efficiency is not defined by deprivation or abstaining from the use of energy, but rather using electricity more wisely and using the best available technologies. In closing, remember, saving energy can be as easy as screwing in a light bulb. Please be on the lookout for the flyers. They are coming to your mailbox next week, and they are important. The limit of course, as I stated, one light bulb per household, and you must present the flyer completed at the post office of your choice to receive your free package of LED bulbs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. We'll take some questions. We'll start with the broadcasting.
Thank you, Mr. Roban. for your remarks on the update of the initiative. It's been great to hear. And just confirming that phase 2 now qualifies every household to be able to receive one package?
Yes, every household will, over a period of time, get this flyer in the mail, and they're able to go and collect their bulbs.
Okay, great. And would the government ever consider phasing out the importation and sale of incandescent light bulbs so that LEDs are the only available option?
Thank you for that question. That is a discussion that we had in 2018, 2019 with the retailers. Most of the major retailers were supportive of such an initiative, but we are mindful that doing phase outs like that should be done in a very deliberate and informed approach taken. So we are quite prepared to go that direction. It does appear as if right now that almost every light option that one needs to have in different types of operation, you can get an LED alternative. So you want to be sure that those alternatives are available at an affordable means before you do an all-out phase. But we have had that discussion with retailers, and we are prepared to venture down that direction.
And lastly, considering the benefits to the environment and the economy, has the government transitioned all bulbs in government buildings to LEDs?
That is something that I believe the Department of Public Works would be able to tell you about. They handle those matters, but we are supportive of any steps that they've taken. As you know, they've made great steps with putting solar panels on many government buildings. So I know they've moved in that direction. They have at different times put in LEDs in different buildings. Whether that has been totally laid out throughout of the government estate, you would need to ask them that. Morning.
So, is there a deadline for when people should submit this flyer, or can they submit it at any time?
We know that sometimes mail can take time, so we've not put a deadline. We will ensure, certainly in the first instance, that every mailbox or address has been sent out, and we can monitor that through the post office. And we will make sure that we can ensure that every address that has a postal address in Bermuda will have had one sent to them, first and foremost, before we would set any timelines. But this will last as long as we have supply.
And how many packages are available?
They're in the, I think there's something like perhaps 150,000 packages available that we have actually in the inventory. And I'd like to thank our local retailers for ESC Limited for supporting and assisting us with the storage and handling as well. And of course, the Bermuda Post Office for helping us with this distribution. It's seen to make sense to use our own public services to effect efficient distribution island-wide. So 150,000 bulbs are available for distribution.
And this initiative will undoubtedly help reduce the cost of energy on the island. Are there any other plans to reduce the cost of energy? Any other initiatives that government has that might reduce the cost of energy in Bermuda?
We're going to be doing more education to assist regular individuals on showing them how. We have done this in the past, but we know that these are ongoing efforts that we should show people, because there are very low cost options to actually reducing the cost of electricity. So that's something that we're going to be focused on, because we know that conservation and efficiency is really one of the most effective ways to lower your costs rather than necessarily making a huge investment in solar PV or initiative. This is a process, and we know that there needs to be a lot more education on this, but we believe and we know that if anyone begins to deploy these types of bulbs and these sort of energy efficient conservation initiatives that we know that are really affordable, that they will immediately begin to see savings. So we do hope that the public takes on, certainly goes and gets their bulbs, but also embraces the other efforts that we know can actually help people save money right now, immediately, if they put them in use, and they don't cost that much money. So thank you for the time to be here. We will be certainly talking to you more over time about other things that can be done just by regular average residents in Bermuda that can actually help them save money, because we know that right now the cost of living is a serious issue. Thank you very much.